It was a crisp autumn evening when a group of friends set out for a camping trip deep in the heart of the Blackwood Forest. The forest was known for its eerie reputation, with locals sharing tales of strange occurrences and unexplained disappearances. As they arrived at the campsite, a sense of foreboding washed over them. The towering trees loomed ominously, and the wind whispered secrets through the rustling leaves. Despite their unease, they decided to make the best of the weekend and set up their tents, gathered firewood, and shared stories around the campfire. As the night deepened, strange noises began to echo through the forest. Twigs snapped, and eerie howls pierced the darkness. They laughed it off as the wind playing tricks on their ears. But then the fire suddenly flickered and dimmed, casting eerie shadows on the trees. They huddled together, their smiles fading. One of the friends, Sarah, began to tell a ghost story. Her tale was about the legend of the Blackwood Wraith, a vengeful spirit said to haunt the forest, seeking revenge on those who dared to camp there. The story sent shivers down their spines, and they nervously looked around. As the night wore on, the group heard footsteps approaching. Fear clenched their hearts as they realized they were not alone. They grabbed flashlights and scanned the darkness, but there was no one to be seen. Terrified, they decided to retreat to their tents, locking themselves in for safety. Inside their tents, the sounds outside grew louder. Strange whispers filled the air, and the trees seemed to close in on them. Panic set in as they realized they were trapped in this malevolent forest. Hours passed, and their flashlights began to dim. They heard eerie laughter and sobbing just beyond the tent flaps. The group was paralyzed with fear, unable to escape the nightmarish ordeal. As dawn finally broke, the forest fell silent. Tentatively, they emerged from their shelters, finding themselves alone in the quiet woods. They quickly packed their belongings and fled the cursed Blackwood Forest, vowing never to return. To this day, the friends can't explain the horrors they experienced that night. The legend of the Blackwood Wraith became a chilling reality, forever haunting their memories. I hope you enjoyed the spine-tingling camping story. In the years that followed their harrowing camping trip, the group of friends couldn't shake off the feeling that something had latched onto them during that fateful night in the Blackwood Forest. Strange occurrences plagued their lives, reminding them of the malevolent presence they encountered. One by one, they began to experience disturbing nightmares, vivid and terrifying dreams that mirrored their night in the forest. They'd wake up in cold sweats, haunted by visions of the Blackwood Wraith, its ghostly figure creeping closer with each passing night. As if that wasn't enough, peculiar incidents occurred whenever they spoke about the forest. Electrical appliances malfunctioned, shadows flickered ominously, and strange symbols appeared on their belongings. The Blackwood Wraith seemed determined to remind them of the horrors they had faced. Determined to free themselves from the curse, they decided to research the forest's dark history. They discovered that the Blackwood Forest had been the site of a tragic incident many decades ago. A group of settlers had been mercilessly attacked by an unknown entity, leaving no survivors. They believed this malevolent force, the Blackwood Wraith, was a manifestation of that horrific event, forever bound to the forest, seeking retribution for the wrongs committed against it. Desperate to break the curse, the friends returned to the forest, armed with talismans and ancient rituals they had uncovered in their research. They ventured deeper into the woods, retracing their steps to the original campsite. As they reached the eerie clearing, they began the ritual, invoking the spirit of the forest and offering their apologies for trespassing. The air grew heavy, and a bone-chilling wind swept through the trees. Then, from the darkness emerged the Blackwood Wraith. The spirit, with a mournful expression, looked at them with empty eyes. It seemed to understand their intentions and slowly dissipated, vanishing into the depths of the forest. With the curse lifted, the friends felt a profound sense of relief. The Blackwood Forest had finally let go of its vengeful spirit. They left the forest that day, their lives forever changed, but no longer haunted by the malevolent presence that had tormented them. The legend of the Blackwood Wraith would live on, a cautionary tale for those who dared to venture into the heart of the cursed woods. But for the friends, they had found closure and the strength to move forward, forever bound by their shared experience in the chilling depths of the Blackwood Forest. In the dim light of a full moon, a decrepit house stood at the edge of the haunted forest. Locals whispered that the house was cursed, and no one dared approach it after sunset. One fateful night, a group of curious teenagers decided to challenge the legend. Armed with flashlights, they cautiously entered the creaking mansion. The air was thick with an eerie silence that sent shivers down their spines. As they ventured deeper into the house, the walls seemed to breathe, and ghostly whispers echoed through the hallways. Suddenly, the floor beneath them gave way, revealing a hidden chamber. In that room, they found a dusty, ancient book that spoke of a malevolent spirit trapped within the house. Terrified, they tried to leave, but the house had other plans. It shifted and morphed, trapping them inside. The walls closed in on them, and the malevolent spirit began to materialize, its presence darkening the room. The teens' screams pierced the night as they became part of the cursed house's collection of lost souls, serving as a warning to those who dared to challenge the horrors that lurked within its walls. In the days that followed, the disappearance of the teenagers sent shockwaves through the small town. People whispered about the cursed house and how it had claimed more victims. The authorities attempted to investigate, but every attempt to enter the house resulted in mysterious accidents, leaving them baffled and terrified. Rumors spread like wildfire, and no one dared to go near the house. It became a place of dread, shrouded in mystery and darkness. The malevolent spirit, now free to roam the house, continued to torment anyone who ventured too close, unleashing terrifying apparitions and eerie sounds. Over time, the house's legend grew, attracting paranormal investigators and thrill seekers from all around, but none could escape its clutches. The house had become an eternal prison where the tormented souls of all who had dared to enter were trapped, forever lost in its shadowy depths. The cursed house stood as a haunting reminder of the dangers that could befall those who dared to meddle with the unknown, its dark history and malevolent spirit serving as a chilling cautionary tale for generations to come. Years passed, and the cursed house became a local legend, with many attempting to unveil its secrets, but ultimately falling victim to its sinister presence. The town's population dwindled as fear spread, and the forest around the house became even more foreboding, as if it were guarding the secrets of the malevolent spirit within. One gloomy evening, a renowned paranormal investigator arrived in the town, drawn by the chilling tales of the cursed house. Determined to confront the supernatural forces that had claimed so many, the investigator gathered a team of experts in the occult, psychic mediums, and experienced ghost hunters. With their specialized equipment and expertise, they cautiously entered the house, fully aware of the danger that awaited them. The malevolent spirit, aware of their presence, unleashed a torrent of poltergeist activity, hurling objects through the air and filling the air with eerie whispers. The investigators delved deeper, determined to find a way to break the curse and free the trapped souls. As they reached the hidden chamber, the room where the malevolent spirit had been bound for centuries, they conducted a ritual to release the tormented souls and send the spirit back to the other side. In a climactic confrontation, the malevolent spirit fought fiercely, but the combined efforts of the investigators and the power of the ancient ritual finally overcame it. The malevolent presence dissipated, and the house trembled, releasing a blinding burst of light. As the investigators and the freed spirits emerged from the house, the structure itself crumbled into a pile of rubble. The curse was broken, and the town was finally free from the malevolent entity's grasp. The cursed house had claimed many victims over the years, but in the end, it was the courage and determination of those who faced its horrors head-on that banished the malevolent spirit, bringing an end to the terrifying legacy that had plagued the town.